Hi friends, this is Judson here. I want to be able to share with you today's encouraging word. It is good for us to be able to daily renew our minds together. We're in the book of John chapter 10. Today we're going to be looking at verses 11 to 21. Yesterday Jesus was giving this imagery about sheep and pens, and there's only one door, and how he said that he is the gate, he is the door. And he wanted to make sure that he had that point very clearly. Now he's going to change his identification in the story. Not only is he the door, but he is also the good shepherd. And that's where we come into today. John chapter 10, verse 11 and following. I am the good shepherd. The good shepherd lays down his life for the sheep. He who is a hired hand and not a shepherd, who does not know, who does not own the sheep, sees the wolf coming and leaves the sheep and flees, and the wolf snatches them and scatters them. He flees because he is a hired hand and cares nothing for the sheep. I am the good shepherd. I know. Excuse me, my page just flew upon me over there. I'm going to start reading that again. Verse 14. I am the good shepherd. I know my own, and my own know me. Just as the Father knows me, and I know the Father, and I lay down my life for the sheep. I have other sheep that are not of this fold. I must bring them also, and they will listen to my voice. So there will be one flock, one shepherd. For this reason, the Father loves me, because I lay down my life, that I may take it up again. No one takes it from me, but I lay it down on my own accord. I have the authority to lay it down. I have the authority to take it up again. This charge I have received from my Father. We're going to stop there. There's a couple more verses I want to look at here, but there's a lot there. Jesus says, I am the good shepherd. And what is the characteristic of the good shepherd? The characteristic of the good shepherd, and he said it several times here, I don't know if you caught it. He says it in verse 11, he says it in verse 15, he says it in verse 17, he says it in verse 18. And he's consistent all the way through. The good shepherd lays his life down for the sheep. Now, it is easy for us to remember in the Old Testament the story of David and Goliath. And it's a wonderful story of a young little shepherd boy taking on this giant of an enemy. And David was a shepherd. And we are reminded that David, when he's asked, do you know how to fight? And he's like, I'm a shepherd. Of course I know how to fight. Because David was a good shepherd, in that David was willing to take the fight to a lion or a tiger or bear, oh my, that ever came against him and his sheep. He was willing to be able to do that. What makes Jesus a better shepherd? See, a good shepherd or a shepherd doing their job, they're willing to risk their life. They have to risk their life to defend the sheep. That is part of the job, if you will. And then he goes in here and he starts talking about how, the hired hand, the person who's not a shepherd, the hired hand, they see danger and they bolt, they run right away because they're not willing to risk their life. Not only is Jesus just a shepherd and a pretty good shepherd in regards to that he's willing to risk his life, Jesus reiterates over and over again, he's not just risking his life, he will lay his life down. And that is what he wants us to be able to know, that he is the good shepherd, that he lays his life down for his sheep, that he knows that he must die for the sheep to live. And he is willing to do that. And he also wants people to know that he's the one who's laying it down. He has the authority to lay down. He also will take it back up when the time comes. And he is obviously talking about his death and resurrection here. He's talking about the power in regards to this. So Jesus knows his mission. Jesus knows his purpose for being here. And Jesus wants to be able to reassure us with this, that he is the good shepherd. What that means is that he is going to lay his life down. Not just risk his life, not just do something that he could be able to maintain his life. No, he knows that he will die 100%. And he's still willing to go forward because he wants to make sure that the sheep survive. It's just be able to make sure that the sheep are able to move on. And he's not just a cheap hired hand or something of that nature. He wants them to know that he's got skin in the game, if you will. And it's all his skin. So that's what he wants to be able to people to know. And he says that the Father loves him because he's willing to make this sacrifice. That he's not just willing, but he is voluntarily laying down his life for that. So we have a really powerful image there in regards to who Jesus is and his mission that he has for us and what he wants us to be able to know and understand. Now, as he's saying this imagery over here, it brings a strong reaction. There is a strong opinion on either side in regards to when Jesus is talking about this. And this is what the next couple of verses talk about. Verse 19 to 21, it says, "There was again a division among the Jews because of these words. Many of them said, 'He has a demon and is insane. Why listen to him?'" So there's one side that says Jesus is demon possessed and he's got mental health issues and all this other various things. But the other side said there are none of his words. These are not the words of the one who is oppressed by a demon. Can a demon open up the eyes of the blind? And so another person says, well, he doesn't sound like any demon I know. And he doesn't sound like what a demon we think what demons sound like. So one, he doesn't sound like one. And two, does a demon have the power to heal, build, construct, and love and like Jesus is showing over here? Because that's what Jesus is doing. Now, every time a demon shows its power, it's to destroy and cause chaos. And yet Jesus is not doing that. Jesus is not causing chaos and destroying. Rather, he is loving and caring, and he's building things up. Once again, further evidence that he is a good shepherd. A shepherd worth following, a shepherd worth knowing. Thanks very much for joining me here. I'll catch you guys later next time. Bye.